noisy. Guys, it is hot today. I just needed to come home and sit outside. Oh my word. The response to my first video was incredible. Thank you so much. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, go into wherever. Go and look at my channel. It's there. It was so much fun to create. Today I thought I would just chat to you guys a bit instead of doing a shooting video and just explain my journey so far. So I got my first camera when I was around 18 and I just started shooting. The second that thing got into my hands, I was shooting on auto, but it went with me everywhere. Thank you to my friends and family for not punching me in the face back then. I really appreciate you. So yeah, I just shot everything. I took a gap year after matric because I had no idea what I wanted to do and thought I wanted to be a teacher. Worked at an aftercare. No, didn't work out, guys, in case you're wondering. Yeah, so someone just recommended to me, or they suggested to me that I go and study photography. So I started looking up courses, and there's really a lot of courses in and around Joburg, but the one at Vega really stood out to me the most. It just seemed like the best option for me. It didn't only cover photography, it covered business and branding and a whole range of other things, creative thinking, like all of these beautiful things that really prepare you for when you leave Vega and when you go into industry or start freelancing. So I started there in 2015, and one of my first memories from Vega was just freaking out when I had no idea how to shoot on manual, and then also having no idea what my style was or who I wanted to be in the photography space and really what I wanted to do with it. I was just kind of went into it blindly, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll make it work, fake it till you make it kind of situation. And luckily for me, it did work out. So the first thing they do is they actually teach you how to take your camera off of auto, which is number one thing. But I just want you guys to know that if you know nothing about cameras, they do teach you literally from the beginning, so you'll be fine. So yeah, I was terrible in the beginning. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I will show you guys some of my photos right now. I'll wait. I was terrible in the beginning, but with studying photography, and this is something that I wanted to chat about in this video, was I don't believe you have to study photography to be a photographer or to be an amazing photographer, but it really does fast track the learning, and you gain so many skills so quickly and you're constantly being pushed to your limits. So where I did 2 years of photography at Vega, for you to kind of learn all of those skills that I did in such a short amount of time might take years, because photography really is something that you're constantly learning, like any art form. But I do think that being in that space, like with anything at varsity, it really does fast track that learning, and you're in such a creative space with so many incredible people that your creative mind is just set on fire. It was one of the most intense spaces I've ever been in, creatively at least. And I was also really overwhelmed with that because I never really had a creative outlet. I was always a very creative person, but I never really had something to attach that creativeness? Is that a word? Whatever. Never really had something to have an outlet for my creativity. So finally having this thing, I was like, ooh, I must create all the time. And I went a little bit crazy. I've learned now how to control that, the urge to create. But yeah, still fail miserably sometimes, and I get crazy and I lock myself in my apartment and take self-portraits for a day. But it's fine. Everything is fine. So when you finally when you get your pass for studio at Vega, that's when I really flourished and when I found what I love doing. I started shooting self-portraits because finding models isn't really the easiest all the time. Started with self-portraits and I did fine art nude photography, and I absolutely fell in love. There's literally nothing in photography has come close to how much I love shooting fine art nudes. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you would have seen quite a few angry and some not so angry captions explaining my love for fine art nude photography. But in short, all I see, like the way I see it, is my body, everyone's body is on art form. It doesn't need to be sexualized like all the time. It is art, and I just love taking photographs of that art and capturing emotion and vulnerability, and that's the best way to do it. I think it's me, it's what I love doing. So yeah, I fell in love with fine art nude photography, finished my first year off really strong. That's when I started exploring with my models, doing nudes with them. Some of my favorite shots are still from first year studio. And then going into second year I think it was quite a big jump in my photography journey. You learn a lot. You are literally basically setting up your business from day one in second year. And by the time you leave second year, you have a website, you have your business cards, you have literally everything, a massive portfolio to like work with. So everything is there and you're ready to walk out of those doors straight into industry. For my final year exhibition, I decided to create a surrealism series. I have always been in love with Salvador Dali, and I wanted to find a way to incorporate my love for bodies, my love for surrealism into this one mystical weird mess. So yeah, I did. I created these weird portraits, which I will show you now. Thank you to all of my models from back then for like letting me turn you guys into these morphed weird creatures and lying in the dust and doing poses over and over again, and just thank you for being so incredible. I spent around 20 hours per image in post, like doing the editing and all of that sort of a thing. It was brutal. It was really, really difficult, but I would do it all over again. I ended up having this series that is now printed, sitting on my shelf. Please, can someone come help me put them up, or force me to put them up, because it's honestly a shame that they're just sitting there in bubble wrap. But I ended up with a series of printed images that I love, and I will forever be proud of that. So yeah, when I left, I had no idea what I was gonna do, because I saw myself as an art photographer. Tried getting into galleries, but it's so difficult to kind of break into that space in South Africa. So I applied for a job as a property photographer, and I'm still there almost 3 years later, but I love it so much. I get to fly the drone every day, travel the country with amazing people. If you guys have any questions about photography or starting a business, just pop them down in the comments below and I will make a video with that. If you guys enjoy seeing these videos, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will try to post 2 a week. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, guys, see you next time.